Investing is a long-term game, and it takes consistent investment to grow wealth over time. Consistent savings over time may make the typical person rich, but market timing is a loser's game for everyone else. The majority of investors use dollar cost averaging without even recognizing it, while receiving the benefits. If you were to inherit a huge amount of money or win the lottery, would it make sense to invest it all at once? Or would it be better to invest a portion of it over time in smaller amounts? As soon as the analysts forecast that the economy will be in a recession in the near future, you should keep your cash on hand and sit on the sidelines until anything occurs. You'll learn about dollar cost averaging and how it may help you in this article. Consider subscribing to the channel if you love videos about money, personal finance, and investing, all of which may help you enhance your financial future. If this video was useful, make sure to press the like button. To use dollar cost averaging, you must set aside a certain amount of money from each paycheck on a regular basis, such as once a week or once a month, into a retirement or investment account. Self-employed people and those whose employers don't provide investing services may choose to move their funds manually rather than using an automated system. This approach may be as effective, but it involves more time, thinking, and effort, none of which is necessarily desirable. It's not ideal for folks who become concerned when the stock market moves. Because market swings are common, utilizing an automated investing approach might be advantageous in removing emotions from the equation. If you buy a 401k, you're probably using the dollar cost averaging technique. A long-term investment in this method has been shown to be the most profitable, despite its reputation as a riskier one. Investments in the same stock or mutual fund over time are known as dollar cost averaging. No matter how much money is available, the same dollar amount of an investment will be acquired in each month. On a monthly, weekly, or any other timetable, you may purchase the same share. Your 401k plan benefits if you contribute the same amount each pay period to your 401k. Every week, a certain amount of money is deducted from your checking account and automatically invested in, say, the S&P 500 fund index. With this investment method, you're already making regular purchases of the fund with a predetermined dollar amount and a definable timetable even when the S&P 500's price fluctuates. While the price per share of an S&P 500 fund fluctuates, most individuals who employ the approach don't give a second thought to the fact. Every day, people may benefit from the market's fall by acquiring additional shares at a cheaper price and seeing the value of their investments in debt, making this a great investing strategy. An effective plan can't be simpler. This strategy is accessible to everyone with a suitable investment account. When money is placed according to the predefined schedule, some individuals have their accounts set up automatically invest it in the vehicle of their choosing. You don't have to put forth any effort at all to utilize this strategy. For other investors, automation is not an option and they must continue to buy shares one at a time. In order to do this manually, you have to spend a lot of time making the transactions, and your emotions are more susceptible to market changes. Regardless of whether the purchases are automated, they all cost the same amount of money. Investing $100 each week in the same company, for example, may result in a price drop to $10 the next week, allowing you to buy 10 further shares. Only 5 shares were available to buy when the stock was priced at $20 the next week. For example, if the price drops to $5 a share, you might buy 20 shares and take advantage of the sale. If the stock price of fund rises or falls, then the number of shares that may be acquired each time will change. Even if the economy crashes and other investors are terrified and selling everything else, ignore market movements. Buying more shares when the share price increases and selling more when the share price falls. In times of economic uncertainty, automating this will reduce the probability of people becoming frightened. As a result, a lot of tiny investors panic and sell at the worst possible moment, just to do it all over again once the market has calmed down. It's a classic blunder during economic downturns when the individuals panic, while major institutional investors benefit enormously by taking advantage of bargain seller investment pricing. Warren Buffett has remarked in the past that his wealth was built on taking advantage of reduced assets during the Great Recession and waiting for their values to rise again. Using a $1 cost averaging method, you can save money. In the long run, motion is removed from the game, allowing you to earn money during both good and bad times. If you purchase more shares while the market is down, the average cost per share will go lower over time, making it an effective and smart method to invest. Those who are just starting out in investing and want to grow their portfolio might benefit greatly from this approach. So, you just walk away with a $100,000 fortune. Is it better to acquire $10,000 worth of shares over a few months or invest in the whole stock market in a single day? It's less dangerous to invest money over time since no one can predict what the markets will do next. Investors are clearly clueless when it comes to predicting the future of the stock market. Just take a peek at any investing news items and you'll notice a wide range of opinions on when the recession will arrive. Some people believe that someone, somewhere, foresaw 15 years ago that stocks would decline because of impending turbulence or that they would soar suddenly because of good economic news. Here, I'm using dollar cost averaging to vary the price points at which you buy your assets, thereby reducing your overall risk. Emotions tend to run high when the market is performing badly or is at an all-time high, so I'm calling this method an attempt to remove them from the equation. Investing the same amount of money each week will enable you to focus on other important matters such as your budget, family, and work, rather than worrying about your investments. For the most part, individuals are better off investing in their health than thinking about how to maximize their income while at work. Small investors fear when the stock market is disrupted and prices plummet, and they stop putting money into their investment and, in some cases, liquidate their whole portfolios. When the market eventually comes around and rebounds, these investors will have more confidence and begin contributing to their accounts again, but by then, the bulk of the profit has already been achieved. You may put your investment portfolio on the back burner while going about your daily business if you automate monthly contributions and set it and forget it. Like any other investment fund, indexed fund XYZ will fluctuate in the price from month to month as an investor deposits $1,000 each month. At the beginning of every month, the investor contributes $1,000 to the fund, but the number of shares he buys varies. $1,000 purchased 50 shares in January, 62.5 shares in February, 83.3 shares in March, and 58.2 shares in April for a total of 43.48 shares per prisoner. An investor started contributing to the fund only 5 months ago now owns 20,098.14 INEC shares. There has been a return on the $5,000 investment of $6,857. The common stock price is now $16.77. According to today's share prices, the $5,000 investment has grown to $6,857. Depending on when the investor spends the full $5,000, the final profit might be larger or lower. However, the investment's risk was considerably decreased by staggering the transactions. It is possible that the investor was unfortunate on a day when the share price was high, but it is also possible that he was lucky on a day when the share price was low. While investing in a lump amount all at once may result in a high return, if you're fortunate enough to catch the market at its lowest point, it's possible that you'll be buying at all-time highs, limiting your potential upside. People should use this proven technique because timing the market seldom works, even for expert mutual fund managers, which is why it makes sense for individuals to use this proven strategy. You'll also benefit from lower risk and bigger rewards. Additionally, dollar cost averaging is one of the most straightforward methods for building an investment portfolio. Don't be deceived into believing that selling your assets when the market seems to be going down would minimize your losses. In the event that assets rise in value, investors may simply buy fewer shares for the same dollar amount instead of investing the same dollar amount on a monthly basis. Millions of people found success with this method in their 401k accounts. So, you should give it a try.